reasons I strongly consider Green Bay over New Orleans is because
I only have one piece. That kind of sucks.
He plays better than his stats look, because the stats do not look good at all.
Ate a lot of it, though.
the stats have two key things: hitting power, max speed, and third hints.
Rushing power is really important for
I know it's important
for D-backs.
But
it's beyond important. It's beyond important. No. Benny Blades had 31 rushing power. It made him near unusable at times in season 12 for me. Near unusable.
I had a drone.
Actually, no, I'm wrong, guys. 48. Carnell Lake is ranked 19. Butler is 18.
oh wow, I was spot on with it. If Butler's ranked.
Leroy Butler's faster, has better hitting power,
And it has more hints.
same as 44.
They're both 44. Well, Butler's is like 163.
From Ings? Get the fuck out of here. No.
What? Why are we upset with him? Listen, I need to get off the fucking
I did not say that at all.
right? Now it's all smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it against Jared.
You could have stayed on the shot.
No,
left field.
Jared thoroughly couldn't have done it against Jordan.
First of all,
I
Ray,
got
his name is Jordan, not Jordan.
Tell him, Bill. Tell him.
Ray, it's Jordan.
Jordan didn't play offense.
Yes, it is.
You were two
Yes, it is.
series of offense.
The Barry scored
Will you
touchdowns
both
on him.
refer to him by the right name? It's Jordan, okay?
Go sit down, Dennis Smith.
No.
It was
Don't be angry.
D. Smythe.
Nice ball. Mitch Lyons!
Don't be angry because you lost to a winless player.
Not winless anymore.
You gave him.
He only has 2 losses.
Yeah, no, I love it. So someone goes 0-1. Oh, you haven't won a man game yet? Man, you suck. I'm Bill.
I haven't played a man game yet.
Can't believe
4-0 man games.
Have you seen my division? Look at it.
I
It's
also
so
lost
tough.
to Steve.
It's so hard.
He sucks.
Steve doesn't even run the ball. I can just call pass plays all game. I almost lost to
I'm
him.
gonna lose to Greg Hartley. He sucks. My division sucks.
And actually,
4.
we lost Jones. It got harder.
James Quinn's schedule got harder.
I'm extremely disappointed that James played
Yeah, that was pretty funny actually. First one.
Now it's just sad.
It's
True.
losing Steve.
I'm not really very clever or creative, so I say if I say anything that gets a laugh, I'll just repeat it over and over again until I get dirty looks.
I'm starting to do
That's not a bad idea.
You just have to teach me.
Well, shit, I think you can teach me.
Yeah, you taught me about stuff.
On that play was.
You got Adrian
Next
Cooper, but you
thing.
didn't get Jake Reed?
Yeah.
Correct.
No, I got the
He
degree.
did not.
Correct. You are correct. You're assessment.
Also, I wasn't expecting goals.
Dude, you damn near beat Dan.
division records. Only because it accounts for 8.
How many eggs do I need for me?
How many eggs?
30.
2 dozen. We got 4 dozen. So 4 days.
Not for long.
Oh! Randall, can't you see? Sometimes things just hit the taffy.
One of the packages is
And I just love your spinning ways.
Yeah.
The sausage.
Fooled you!
Holy shit, we just want a run play.
You call run plays against Bordier too. Bordier doesn't remember
Whoa.
it because it was so bad. Cunningham might as well have kept it in the backfield, just falling over. That's how bad those plays were. But he did call.
He only called like 2 or 3 at most.
I think he called more than that.
Ball don't lie.
Nice ball.
Ball don't lie.
I think 3 is
Agree to disagree.
No.
Whoa, no. What do you mean?
No?
No.
Let's agree to disagree.
No. You're on my pissed shitometer.
How high?
So high you can touch the sky.
1.2.
Guys, you need to make up. Array divided cannot stand.
You're sitting.
Exactly.
Because you can't stand.
You play that right?
Yeah, but you did.
Neither one of you can stand.
Those passes I was throwing against you were my guys in high school.
They called them against me.
Oh.
They worked against me.
You know those runs that I got against you?
Yeah. It's a trade-off, really. I would take the runs.
That's why I was asking, because Leroy's got higher hitting power, and
You'd be in the bathroom all day.
ranked higher.
Yeah, Leroy has a 1 bump in hitting power.
Yeah.
He's slightly faster. They're the same things. I didn't realize that.
I can't run against him. Carnell just destroys my world.
I always feel like Carnell Lake is faster than Butler.
It's because
When he goes
Russian
in
power.
power excellent, he's stupid.
Yeah, no, it's true. When he's feeling it, it seems like he's on a whole
Does he
other.
have higher rushing power than her?
No,
Then no.
no.
I didn't think Butler had. I mean, the reason Butler never leaves my team is because of his hitting power.
And that's max speed. Making him a beast returner.
Leroy Butler's speed stats
I don't look at your
are
face.
44,
The rail takes
38,
off on you.
56.
You're like, this
Cornell is 56,
That's
38,
why.
50.
same look everyone else
Does
is.
the running
that
speed
running
make a big
Oh
deal?
yeah, running speed's your starting value.
Yeah.
Well, his starting speed looks better then, so that helps my
And he's
aggressive
got
play.
that. He's got 50. You said he's got 50 rushing power.
No,
Yeah.
they both have 38 rushing power.
Oh, okay.
They both have 38. So
You,
he gets
you start off better.
he gets 2 bumps in running speed, 1 bump in max
That's
speed.
big.
It is big.
That's very big.
I start off better, but once you build speed, you're faster.
But you've seen what happens.
And,
I haven't had this problem.
and
with
Butler
Butler
gets
until
hurt
this year.
right?
Yeah, 69 versus 63, both with 44 picks.
I haven't had this problem with Butler until.
They're
a little bit last year,
they're
but
really
this year it's
similar.
bad.
But Carnell
And
Lake
still
has
beat me.
higher agility too. Carnell Lake has a 63 agility.
I had
You couldn't beat Jordan, you couldn't beat Jared, but you beat me, the guy who beat Jordan and Jared. Fuck our division.
I lost to Jared.
That's what he just said. That's
I know.
exactly what he just said.
reiterated it.
That wasn't a loss.
That was a word you didn't show up.
That was actually probably more of a real beating than what Jordan did you, because he was just a bunch of returns on broken Barry's hands.
Fucking Jordan.
Let me ask something, and like an honest assessment, because it's been brought up about our league.
Oh, you
should we
dick.
limit kick returners?
Yeah.
Is that
Fucking
what-
Randall.
Limit or even remove.
That was a touchdown.
What are you gonna
Remove it?
remove?
What is this, the
No,
TLL?
hold on. I'm asking, because doesn't it? Do you think it gets out of hand?
Sometimes yes. But that's the game.
I think yes, sometimes it does.
Stupid.
You wanted that
I
in
think that
one
what
more
the
time?
TLL
I did.
It
does
didn't go through.
What, I don't know what.
Yeah. Because I have that play too. I
TLL
love that he does that. That tight end there.
basically says that
Yeah.
at the beginning of the game, it
I was
works
like,
different
oh,
for
this
them
is
because
good,
at the
this is
beginning of all their
fantastic.
games, all their guys are in average. But basically, you cannot assign a player to kick return or punt return who has more than 56 hitting power at any time. Not hitting power, max speed. Okay, so 56 hitting power can
Max
be
speed.
used, or 56 max speed can be used, but they have to have 31 or less hitting power.
Interesting.
So that way you can't have the guys who are
Yeah.
like Steve Atwater.
No, I get it.
Or if they have 50 max speed, they can have any hitting power. 50 max speed or less, they can have any hitting power.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I whatever. I lost, and that's reality. And I've done the same thing to people.
Cut spin for show
But,
too.
like,
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah,
an
it
easy
was
touchdown, and then the drone peeled up quickly. I was like, oh, he could have ruined that.
of trying to stop.
It would have been par for the first. Let's look at those three
You are
downs.
literally.
Say it again?
Those three downs by
standards,
Fox was
nothing.
scored too.
By those
First down,
standards,
Randall
Smith
threw the bat
used
ball
power.
on a touchdown.
But a lot of people aren't.
Also,
But
two
I don't know what they did. I'm asking.
Also,
That's it.
Lee-
That's their
Jerome
their
Bettis,
case.
Leroy Butler 2 seasons ago.
No, I just
Some
said.
of
I
the people
just-
still
okay.
think that
Thought I got
those
thrown.
restrictions
First blood.
are still too lenient.
I'm just curious. Like,
You know, I do think that it sometimes gets really ridiculous. It's not an enjoyable game where you grind downfield for a touchdown and then they just house the kick.
no.
Or you grind downfield and kick a field goal and then they house the kick. And like, you know, those games where you get someone like housing 2 or 3 kicks
Dirty,
in a
man.
game, like it's
Haywood
ridiculous.
spinning
It
is not
is.
cool.
I would counter with two
Not
things.
cool at
The
all.
first thing is, my first season in the TLL, it
I
was
like
brought
it.
up during the draft. And I asked them, I was like, do you
I don't
guys have
mind.
data on it?
Oh my god,
I was like,
don't
Brian
spin
was
through
arguing
him.
vehemently against it. He's like, we need to limit it even
Couldn't
more.
lose
It's
him.
still too good. And I was like, define good. He's
How
like,
do
well,
you feel about our data this early in the season?
listen. No, I'm gonna bring it back around.
Alright, go ahead.
And it's like, all right, tell me how many return touchdowns there are. Okay, what's the rate? What's the percentage out of all the returns that happened this season? How many were touchdowns? It was like about 3%. 3% of returns were touchdowns. Now I know yards and field positioning are big too. I get it. But what we're always focused on is those big touchdowns.
Our percentage is much higher.
Well, that's the thing.
Especially
I would love
if you break it down to teams that actually have these broken returners.
now that we have are going to have data for it. I'd
Well,
love
we
to
have it
see.
last season. too.
I'd love to
I
see
don't think we
the
even
percentage.
Yeah, right now I am.
I'd love to see
I
the percentage.
switched off.
My second point
Harlan Barnett.
is that I'm opposed to saying we need to limit what a team can do because they can do it well. Some teams throw into coverage really fucking well. And I've lost a lot of games just from that nonstop.
Yep,
So it's not
first
the
down,
wrong game,
that's
they don't
true
special
story.
teams. It's just that. Some teams have really
You
good running back
were
like Barry
passing,
Sanders.
I don't like
Last
this.
two seasons, I didn't really use Barry as return because I wanted to get injured.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But so it's like, some teams can really only run. Some teams can really only pass. Some teams can return the fucking football.
Is there a team that can only return the football?
St. Louis.
Well, that's not. I'm
Yes.
saying-
Louis? Yes, there is.
Yes.
The Green Bay Packers.
Damn.
What about the Pat
Nice.
Big Green?
That's fucked up. My scores against him were good drives.
Just running off.
I had 17.
I was thinking, like,
flying
actually kind of
drives
funny if you called
that I
this a
kicked
short
off
run.
and then he was house immediately.
I wasn't
It
going
was-
to call
it
it.
was
It was like,
Actually,
you call that,
they
I'll
tied
take
the
a
game
chance I
on
can
that
stop it.
It was the 3 kick returns that he had that caused him to win.
I remember.
No, he still would have won. I'm not saying he wouldn't have won still.
Right. Oh,
It's
yeah.
definitely not my point in this conversation.
I know.
He
Still would have had 3 more possessions.
Tied up.
or got Barry injured.
Tied up.
yeah.
I don't know.
Hayward
what
made sure he didn't have far to
restrictions
go.
I'm not even saying there are restrictions.
I don't think there are.
I'm saying that
Um,
there are ways. You have abilities.
Mm-hmm.
People throw into coverage. You have abilities at least to stop that. You could pick. You could
Can we
call
ban
a
running the
play,
ball?
You could
Running the ball.
intercept the ball.
Good
It could
ban.
go incomplete. I kicked off to Barry. It was done already.
That's true.
Everyone in the room was
You
like,
could tell.
"That's a touchdown.
Well, the thing
Let's
is that,
move on to the next play."
but it's also variable. That was my game against you. My game against Bill, I used Barry to return. Barry couldn't do shit. He was in bed almost the entire game. It was awful. And his special teams were flying out. It is variable.
Get him.
Your special teams, for some reason,
Get the
looked awful.
Oh, they were
When we played our 4 other games,
call play. No problem.
the last 2 seasons, your special teams was monstrous against me.
That was
Monstrous.
called.
You guys fucking flying
sure.
on the field
Also,
chasing
didn't try
after me.
using
Did
Barry.
field called.
I did later.
Yeah,
this
my
season
D
against you
line
last
broke
year.
through, and you were able to stake away.
It didn't matter. It didn't
Yeah,
matter.
so-
They broke right through.
I think what the TLL does,
I'm
limits
Randall.
certain uses, and that was their.
If I called
they
the call
wanted
play, I
to
would have called
prevent
forward.
Guys like Steve
5
Atwater,
yards.
Rod
and
Woodson,
no.
Barry
Ah,
Sanders,
look,
I
look
need
like
to
that.
land things
players
Maybe.
who are ridiculous returners from being used as returners. That was the design behind
come
the
on.
rules when they first created them. We've never done anything like that,
No.
but there's absolutely, watching, like, for instance, Leonard Russell, I think, either just falls inside the scope or just falls outside the scope. Jerome Bettis is out.
The Leonard Russell is definitely in the scope.
He's 56
Do
next
realize
week.
No, he's not.
everything
It's
to try to
44
stop
years
him, right?
Leonard Russell's just outside, so Leonard Russell wouldn't be legal.
Because all of a sudden you're taking away Bettis and Russell.
Our Eagles wouldn't be legal. Jerome Bettis wouldn't be legal.
Oh.
Tyler
off.
Hughes wouldn't be
All
legal.
right.
No, all right would be legal.
Why?
Because
He's got 63 next week.
Yeah. So all of a
Right
sudden
would be
you just
legal.
took away the return game in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And as a base team, they have no fucking passing.
Yeah, it definitely changes.
Well,
Here's
but
your-
they have a run.
True. But here's another point.
I mean, it definitely
When,
changes the dynamic of what our teams do.
It does.
No, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Another thing that I brought up, I was preseason TLL, this preseason this past
I
season,
thought he
we
was
were
gonna
practicing
intercept
with
the
teams
ball,
we were going
but-
to draft for. I was playing against
I
Steve.
thought I was going to catch it.
And I
No,
was
no, no, I'm
using
talking about the
the
overall.
Vikings, the TLL. And they had
Well, you're a
Tony
linebacker.
Gallup,
I was
who's a
worried about that.
and I put him in 38 max speed, like 56 or 63 rated power, blazing fast. Made no sense. There are players in the game that have lower speed stats, like lower stats overall, but for some reason when they're put in the returner spot are ridiculous. And there are
Like
yeah,
I
exactly.
was really
And there are
happy
other
with the goal
guys who
I'm
look
like,
like they
you
should be
10
monstrous
minutes, stop
returners,
being a
like
lie.
50, 60 max speed, and you put them back there, and they blow.
I was pretty
So it's
excited
not-
about it.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
Hasty wasn't moving that great.
I'm not saying that's the way to go about
No,
it. To
but
do.
Oh,
outside
so
of
far, I haven't
TLL,
been
what
able
I'm
to stop
saying
you
is,
with
I don't know if
what I'm saying is, to me, it's hard to say we're going to make a rule imposing
So I
who can return and who can't, when there
I run
are players
every
in
once
the
in a while,
game who shouldn't be amazing returners, who
I
are
know.
phenomenal.
but
And there are players who look like they should be phenomenal returners and are garbage. So we don't
when I run
really
the
know
ball,
what
my
goes into it.
upside's
Like,
about
yeah, speed has a lot to do with
3-5
it generally,
yards.
but there's
If
other
you
things
fall
that go
down completely.
I just feel.
Do you remember fucking Dre Bly returning kicks?
Okay, it's not
Oh,
bad.
I remember.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
Smart, Nick.
The issue with Hayward, he's not tackleable.
Hayward has 19 max speed. 19 max speed, and he looks like a monster out there. 31 max speed, I'm sorry.
She's saying you're fat. But kind of.
Think about him. And I love him.
That's not what Willie is.
I got that. Got that.
I can't pull the camera.
I just when you look
I
at
hope
it,
not burn him.
I don't want anybody to ever think to themselves, it would be a much better play for me to cheat right now and pay a penalty than to kick off. That should never have to be an
I
option.
felt like it.
And when you think about that,
Shit's
that's
bad.
bullshit. No, it's not bad. It's not, and it's you're laughing because it's not. You know, it's kind of
No,
fun, but it's
fucked
it's
up.
bullshit.
But it's
I should
interesting
want
to me
kick an
though.
onside kick and then give up a possession.
But it's really interesting to me that this is being brought up after one game where I've had legit
It's-
success
This,
with
no,
that.
no, no.
Right,
This is
George,
after the whole
we're calling-
season
okay.
of it.
It's yeah. This isn't. It's
This is
also. I don't
after-
think we're like
This is nothing to
Witch
do with
hunt.
you.
This is. Yeah,
Banning Barry, you bastard.
Me and fucking Dan at 5.
Oh, I remember that playoff game was ridiculous.
Back to back.
There should have been more.
That was retarded.
Yes.
That's
It was
not
beautiful.
a game.
It was beautiful.
it's
phenomenal.
It's rough, man.
It's what if it's what teams can do. It's what
I
we gotta
guess.
get really good at tackling and not tackling with our kickers.
It's,
Right,
yeah, that's not.
We gotta
that's
work on
hard.
that.
That's,
That's it's very hard.
that's really
It's
not
nothing
a.
to do with dive.
Usually, like Barry, there was never an opportunity for him to tackle Barry.
He couldn't come
Never.
close to him.
Hayward,
There wouldn't be an
And
action.
chances are if he did, and
Dennis
Barry
Smith,
an
there wouldn't be an
excellent,
action to tackle him.
and the chances are he got near Barry, and Barry's an excellent, he was going to throw the kicker aside, and
He's gonna spin through me and then kick me in the jump.
then you're going to be inside.
you know, it's not like trying to stop a kick return. Trying to stop a kick return.
Palmer,
with your
baby.
kicker is
Are you using a
it's,
linebacker?
It's
I don't
really
remember.
it's all about how you're what
Right
you're
now?
doing.
Yeah.
The kicker
That play, we're using
is
linebacker?
mostly
Okay.
interior.
You can
there for
tell.
Indiana?
Hold on. No, you can
I
tell
was
at the
using
beginning of the
Hasty.
game at a kickoff
Okay.
what your kicker's gonna
That's
do.
why I was
In
like,
our games
dude, I was right
where
there.
they're like,
They're
I got
flying.
63
They're
interceptions.
lying and they're involved in every play. And then there's ones where
You're like,
against Barry, where I was like,
Yeah, your
It's
guy
been
was
part of my
your
game.
guy was not.
fuck you nicely.
And there's nothing you can do. There's
not a thing.
It's like it's basically a play where you're like, I'm gonna
kill him.
It's so dirty. Welcome to
Go get you
playing.
a dollar.
Welcome to playing against Randall. Man.
It's not like playing defense. Where
Are you gonna add $1 before after the game?
There were
That's
times
my
against
point.
you where I'm like,
That was
it's
my
some,
whole
it's
point.
worth it for me to not call your
Stuff
play.
like that.
Like I will do everything I can to not call your play to force you to actually play,
Uh-huh.
because that would
Throwing
infuriate me.
it, getting the ball
5
there,
yards, 6 yards
getting
every
it
time.
past-
It's somehow easier to run for 5 yards on a called play.
Then any time else.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
I agree with you, I just
My-
hopefully don't think there's a win.
like
I don't know.
my and it's something I brought up with TLL. It's something that they do now, but they keep it within the confines of their system. They intentionally build kick returns.
You feel
and
it's just
specialty
like
players
cut and cut and
clean.
cut.
Guys like Steve Tasker, Kenneth Gant,
Okay.
Albert Shelley, Tyrone Hughes. These are all either kick return specialists or return specialists or special teams players that are on these rosters and they're built as special teams players. You know, like Albert Shelley is not a good defensive back.
No! Oh, yeah, give me that. Special. Give me that shit.
Special what? Special teams? Not out
Nah, not special teams.
there.
Special
But
player.
you know, like, but
Oh. Guys, that was the first one,
if
right?
he were like,
Yeah.
if he were a guy playing special teams, he looks pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a great kick returner, but he was a special teams player. Kenneth Gant is a special teams player. Tyrone Hughes was one of the fastest players in the NFL.
Holds the record for most return yards in a game.
Fuck.
Like,
Jackie D was on my
if we
dick
were to
again.
use the TLL's rules, Tyrone Hughes couldn't be used as a kick returner.
Yeah.
This is
And
what
that's
I
his
was
sole purpose in the
paying
game.
for it.
Not that Bill.
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying
Don't pay him to
that
be on my
that's
dick.
what we should be using. I just wanted to see if anyone
I
else
pay him to-
thought the same.
Oh no,
way.
I think we all are with you. It's just what do you do?
Yeah, and I'm
What can you do?
I'm not all about limiting teams or whatever. I mean, everyone should be able to. I don't want anyone to feel like we're going after them. It's not like if we took away Barry. It's not like all of a sudden your team can't do anything. Obviously, you can fucking kill the ball. But I'm
You
not
already
trying to
took
say we
away
should-
Barry, you bastard.
Yeah.
Come on
Good
now.
job,
Love
by
you
the
for
I'm
it.
just saying, like,
Hold on,
it
what
sucks.
happens?
Barry
Barry's
got
team is like,
I won, but
if I don't
Barry
get
didn't.
Hayward back, I can't fucking return. Like,
Has he hasn't come back yet?
I've only had one game, and
That
now he's not coming back.
sucks. That fucking sucks.
And I play
Kick
fine
returning
too.
should not be
I thought I got away.
the
Right.
fucking crux of our game. Like,
And it should be. It should be.
I'm not
And
care about
it's,
this.
It's
a black
definitely. It's obviously something that people
I don't
outside
care.
our league
I don't
are concerned
care.
about.
That's
I mean,
cool.
You do care. That's
Because
awesome.
Kick returning in this
It's
version
true.
of Tecmo is
I'm
really
perfectly cool with
easy
this.
compared to the other version of Tecmo. And you know, one of the things with the TLL is kick return touchdowns. The percentage is very
that
low.
piece of shit.
Like NFL, like I did a review like a couple of years ago when I reviewed the NFL, and I put all that data together that they have. And in the NFL, the number of kick return touchdowns, kick returns, is less than 1%.
Fuck.
In the TLL, it was about 3%, which is still really low for overall kick return.
but if you're
That's
trying
also
to make it
factoring
too
in.
close for me.
it's super
Right. But then you're factoring
Take a
in.
50-yard punt, though.
Sure. Here's the thing. When you're doing an overall view of something like that, you're factoring in. You're not factoring in things like in that league, Bryant is so opposed to kick returns and the use of these amazing players' kick returns. He intentionally uses the slowest, shittiest player that he has available as his kick return, and rarely gets beyond his own 20.
So he's an idiot. No, I understand.
And there's Slim does similar things sometimes. Like
Well, what they
Anthony's
do though is
fucking
they'll put
shredding
these guys that
tackles.
have like maybe 40,
James
40,
Hasty,
49
yes.
speed. They'll usually put it with like hitting
I
power.
thought he had
They'll put it like
low
the
power.
fullbacks or a safety or
This
something. It's like
yeah.
slower,
He
but it's
doesn't
hitting
have
power.
much.
And that's pretty devastating actually.
No,
Like,
Tommy.
the
you're
guys
right.
will like the
I think
Dennis
that's
that's
Smith,
not always the case.
but it can be
I'm
if
about
those guys
that.
are just solid away. Those guys with
He's a running
power,
back. Most running backs
it's
have it.
crazy.
But what you
There's
should
not
do
very
is
many
it'd be like saying,
RB Bills that have
if
19
we
power.
went and
That's
said,
really
all
low
right,
for running back.
let's do an
Partial.
overview of the
I think
entire
Falk might be there,
NFTGL.
too.
No, he's got more.
We return 6% of our kickoffs.
Most running
Over
backs
the
have
course
at
of the
least
season, we return
35.
6%. But Lou returns 0. And someone else returns 0. And then Dan
Holy Randall.
returns 25
Oh my
or
God.
30% of his kickoffs. And Jordan returns
Jealous?
25 or 30% of his kickoffs. And Bill returns 25 or 30% of his kickoffs. And then everyone else is at like that 2% range at
Yeah.
best.
Like now,
I
Steve will be
fucked
up
up.
there. Hayward.
No.
Not used to calling
He's just
guys.
giving an example, Bill.
I'm just giving examples. That really it changes things. Then you're not looking at the stats properly because you're saying, okay, well, as a league we only do this much. But
What are they
that's
arguing about?
realistically as
I'm
a
not
league
arguing about it. We're
we
having
have
a
3
discussion.
people
It's
doing
social.
all of the returns, and everyone else doing
Isn't
nothing.
the NFL sometimes similarly balanced? Certain teams have better kick return
They do.
games than others.
They absolutely do. That's
That's.
absolutely true.
I mean, for
Oh,
years.
Even then,
oh.
it's lower. You're not getting
Yeah,
guys.
welcome to that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Getting 1 kick return in a game is
It's
huge.
amazing.
It's huge.
It's amazing.
Getting 3 is
It's
broken.
unheard of.
It's not unheard of.
Oh, I know. Barry just did it.
They did it in the play.
Look, did
Barry
you
just
practice
did
this offseason?
it. Ray and Dan just went back and forth for 5 straight
Are
kick
you
returns.
seeing clearly now that the rain is going?
I've done it. I'm not saying we should change the rule.
Last season, I easily
Maybe it's
could have
something we
won
talk
like
about.
a lot more.
No,
games.
I put it in your ranking.
Yeah,
What happened?
All but one of your
I
losses
don't
were
even have
within
an
one
idea
score.
for it.
Yeah.
Just
Like,
It's
I
hard.
lost games very tightly.
Yes.
She just gives
Like
them
3
five
points, 4 points,
It's
7 points.
go.
away the ball bounce.
Like Hayward's teams.
Hayward's not
Yeah, the
tackleable.
ball bounced.
He gets moving. You can't tackle him.
Hayward's slow as balls.
Except with kick returns.
The downside of Randall
Faster
right
on
there.
kick returns, but he's not Barry.
He's not Barry, but
That
he can't
was
be
a
tackled.
touchdown.
As no one is.
You die
We're
by
damn close to it.
If you,
that's why it's Barry.
Why is Barry?
That's why he's Barry.
This is
Bates.
first down.
Wait,
you
Barry
miss
Bates.
or you
Wait.
get out of the play, you're fucked.
Wait.
I mean, I don't know.
Barry, you can't even get
Oh
him.
my god. No one's that guy either.
You know,
Holy
a really easy way to do it, and it's kind of I don't know if it's a good way, is to basically just go whoever the starting returner is, that's who your returner.
Oh,
God.
Oh god.
No.
I'm good with that.
You don't have a returner.
No, it's Quadri. That's who I use.
Yeah, as I said, he doesn't have a
No, I
return.
mean for some teams like New Orleans, you use Tyronn Hughes. I know you don't like to use Tyronn Hughes because you use him in a certain position defensively, and it makes him a shitty returner. But Tyronn Hughes for me was an amazing returner for years and years and years.
Yes, he was.
You know,
That
your
dude
team
was
still
the
an amazing
fucking king of the
returner.
league for a couple years.
Well,
You know,
he and Dwight still will go back and forth.
I mean, it drastically changes. I mean, if we did that, like, it completely changes the dynamic. You'll still see house kicks, but nowhere near on the scale that we currently.
Oh, big stop!
Stop.
I thought you needed to run through the first lot
abusing
earlier.
kick returns by
Just
using
go, man.
guys
You only
like
need
that.
2 yards. I thought you could have gone
Guys
for
that
it.
weren't
coaching.
intended when the game was
It's after
being
the
used
fact.
that position.
Doesn't matter after the fact,
You know who
but
else could kill a returner? Mike Haynes.
I mean, we're talking about guys.
I thought I had
that
opportunities
return
all
kick
over.
The Saints have limitless options.
No.
seriously, they really do. The thing is that though, you don't want to risk Haynes' injury when you when you play 20 computer games a season.
You're right.
So it doesn't matter anyway. Oh, let's cut up.
Yeah,
Haynes
again, I'm
discovered
not
in
saying I
that-
have any
in that
ideas.
practice.
It's a fun-
but
it's a
it is
fun
something
discussion.
that can
It's a fine discussion.
happen.
No, I think everyone's on board with you though. That it's fucked.
I don't think it's fucked.
I don't think it's too fucked, but
Yeah.
When was the last time we were like, this dude only won the Man Bowl because of his fucking returners?
I mean, people might talk
2 years ago.
about me when I won the medal.
Yeah, we got a
offensive
man.
yardage was terrible.
Yeah.
Because you were returning.
It's gotta start from 20.
Yeah, we weren't tracking it, and I had a good.
I think we should be able to return no matter what.
I'll give you
I think a good
perfect example.
A good
Season 8.
generic number you can come up with that would show you the quality.
Who was it in season 8?
Returns.
Me.
You were
Hey,
season
you
eight.
called
I
No.
didn't play. I never had an offensive possession.
Dude, my
End of
offensive
fourth
line
quarter.
just
My house was
disintegrated
fixed.
and
Round
three
up.
players came off the middle.
My
I
defense
got
pretty
one
good.
possession
We'll
and I
tell you
scored
how
on
many
it.
yards they had.
You're like the first player I'm playing against.
I,
I'm still in
I,
first.
my house won the
We're not
league,
calling
won
plays.
the season.
It's a defensive.
Usually I have a second.
You have to
And then I scored one touchdown on my
The game ending drive.
You get
one of
I mean, I probably have more.
possession.
I probably could have
Three down
cycled.
or something.
Good
No.
generic number that'll give you an idea who has better.
You know, I won that Man Bowl
and
because of my
better
record.
defensive game. They're kind of hand in hand. Is you do take total yards divided by
Yes, man.
And more importantly, because Eric Allen got me that fucking
Okay.
That
You
number
want to hit? You're like,
tells
give me that ball. And you got
how
that
many
ball.
yards they had in game scored.
I got the ball. I got the ball. I
So
got the
teams
ball.
with really good.
Get-
Like
get-
Dan
get
should
that.
One of my first time saw
Yeah,
it.
his recovery speed.
It's
All I needed to do was dump it
a
off
very
Barry Foster.
crude number.
All I
That's
needed to do
not
was dump it off Barry Foster.
flaws to it.
I'm trying to think of
That was, I think that was drastically changed, and not drastically, but it would definitely change the dynamic of our return game. Like, I don't think it would hurt. Like, St. Louis would still get to use right.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Back-to-back picks.
I do have an idea.
Why weren't you downfield further?
Doesn't involve Barack Obama.
I have no idea if you'd even be able to house a kick entirely with it.
Okay.
2-cut rule. I'll kick return.
Once you're in the clear.
Once you're in the clear, 2 cuts, that's it.
Kick returns would be extraordinarily rare.
I
Do you think it would make it too non-existent?
Yeah, what probably would never happen.
I don't think it ever would.
Yeah, I think because you
It would never happen.
often you hit the open field.
You're doing nonstop
you're
zigzags.
on fire in 30,
Yeah.
No.
40.
You do on your side of the field.
Yeah.
Oh, power slide.
Well, that's the thought I just came up with.
Triple
It's not
coverage.
fair. Like, what if okay, 10 seconds left.
I think there are some that.
I mean,
could
if
still.
Steve were using St. Louis, it wouldn't be an issue.
No,
because he just ran
I like
straight the whole time
Bill's
anyway.
point. 10 seconds
10
left.
seconds left, you got
Someone's
house
up
kick
against
to
you.
win.
I know.
It's huge.
I know.
You can only return kicks the real way. With under 2 minutes to go in the half.
No,
Yeah,
I don't want to crease.
No, I know. I was joking.
Yeah, you're.
No,
No, I agree with you.
Pick.
That is, I mean, that's one thing.
It's not a bad thought.
I don't want to eliminate
I'm
kick
not trying to
returns.
get rid of.
I
them,
think
but,
I think kick returns are one of the exciting things about the NFTGL. Like having to kick off after taking the lead with 3 seconds left in the game.
You know,
Nerve-wracking.
fucking beat Jared last night.
No,
He'd have been in the playoffs.
That's very possible, yeah.
No, he
No,
would
no,
have
that
been.
is-
Twelve
No, I mean, I might have. I have 21 seconds left. I might have thrown it up.
Robert Brooks.
I probably
Knock that
you
class
know,
down.
Duck,
You know
quack,
work.
duck, quack,
I mean,
duck, quack.
you see my work. Throw it to the end zone. I lose.
It depends on who you're playing. When you're playing that awful secondary, it doesn't work. You play
No.
against Robert Massey and Cardinal Lake. It
I knew
works.
I was screwed when I turned it over on downs. I mean, I like. I got it back, obviously, and until June says 0 points, but you could have kicked the field goal and you opted not to.
Here we go. I don't want to win. I wasn't where I wanted to be on the field for it. And I was like, I want to win. And field goal.
I would like to pick that very
Getting this first down is the fucking win.
Sure.
Yeah, the 2 cut rules really like me.
It's not a bad thought, but
You would never get
it
returns.
It would eliminate.
It would never. It
returns.
would go from whatever
What if you went
percent to
to a
0%.
What if you got four
It
cuts?
definitely would not eliminate them. They would still happen.
It would have to be
No.
non-stop spinning or
Hold on a
non-stop tackling.
second. They would definitely still happen. The long drawn cut
Fuck, man.
would definitely still
Give me-
work.
You got the
Wow.
bird down, doesn't matter.
Wow. I thought the Falcons got it.
Yeah, but it's 4th down.
Fourth down.
Oh.
All right, so it's not a fumble return; it's turnover on downs.
Correct.
Weird. I don't see that very
I'm not
often.
gonna lie, it's gonna get weird. 2 dragons.
I think the Vikings are gonna pull this one out.
Now I've got
Dynamite drop in money.
Ain't gonna happen though. Last game of the season.
NFTGL. Can't leave anything to chance.
That's the play.
That is the
That's
play.
the play.
It's definitely getting red.
Yeah, Lou.
How about them Vikings?
I really think that Steve
the
is going
play.
to break the record for lowest rushing yards in a season.